Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 40th and the 41st verses of the 13th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 40th verse is as follows. Karnadhara ivapare Bhagavan paradarshakaha atha babhashe Bhagavan narado munisattamaha. The meaning of this verse is, you are like a captain of a ship in a great ocean, and you can direct us to our destination. Thus addressed, the godly personality Devarshi Narada, greatest of the philosopher devotees, began to speak. So the background for this 40th verse is that Dhritarashtra has left the palace after hearing the strong instructions of Vidura, and Vidura, Dhritarashtra and Gandhari all have left the palace, and Yudhisthira the next day morning is doing his daily morning duties as a pious householder. So he went to pay respects to Dhritarashtra, and he didn't find Dhritarashtra in his usual place. Then immediately he inquired from Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra's secretary, where is Dhritarashtra, my uncle? So Sanjaya said, I don't know. I don't know where he has gone. I have no idea. Then Yudhisthira began to worry whether, because Dhritarashtra and Gandhari had lost all their sons, and they were very much aggrieved because of the great loss in the battle of Kurukshetra. All their 100 sons were killed, and their grandsons, sons and grandsons, everyone was killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. So because he was so very much aggrieved, did he leave the palace to go and drown himself in the river Ganga? That was what Yudhisthira was so much concerned, worried. In fact, Yudhisthira wanted to take care of his uncle and aunt, that they should be comforted when they have undergone such a huge loss in their last days. So he was taking good care actually. But suddenly when they disappeared, he began to worry. What happened? Where did they go? And where have they gone? So as he was worrying, suddenly Narada appeared in the palace of Yudhisthira. And as soon as Narada came, Yudhisthira began to inquire from Narada. And he explained that my uncles and aunt have gone. I do not know where they have gone. Kindly tell me, what should I do now? So Yudhisthira is describing Narada as a captain of a ship in a great ocean. This analogy is very important for us to understand, that if somebody is going in a ship and is in the middle of the ocean, every side they look, they'll only see water. They'll see only water. There'll be no sight of any land in the middle of the great ocean, big ocean. There'll be no sight of any land. Then only the captain who knows how to navigate the ship based on, of course, nowadays they have modern equipment, but formerly they used to have maps. And using the maps and the compass, the direction in which they should go, they would actually steer the ship in the ocean and take it from one place where they start, shore of the ocean, one particular landmark, to another country or another place in the other side of the ocean. So only a captain who's experienced, who has got these maps, who knows how to use the maps to steer the ship, only such a person can help the passengers in the ship to reach the destination, the designated place they are supposed to go, they wish to go, they desire to go. Similarly, Yudhisthira is now lost. He doesn't know where his uncle and aunt are. But Narad Muni is actually a great philosopher devotee, as it will be explained in the as it is mentioned here. Narado Munisaptamaha. He is the greatest among the philosopher devotees. So he is like a captain of a ship in the great ocean. And Yudhisthira Maharaj is requesting Narada, you please direct us to our destination. And when Devarshi Narada, the greatest of the philosopher devotees, the godly personality, he is the greatest of the devotees, pure devotees. And he is also a philosopher, he is also a great personality, the greatest of the personalities, such personalities. He was addressed by Yudhisthira, he began to speak. And that will come in the next few verses. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says something about Narada. There are different types of philosophers, and the greatest of all of them are those who have seen the personality of Godhead and have surrendered themselves in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Now, to see the Supreme Lord is not an ordinary thing. The Lord is completely spiritual, and not only is he spiritual personality, but he is also the unlimited supreme personality. So one has to first of all become spiritually situated to be able to see or perceive or realize what is spirit, and then go beyond this, beyond perceiving spirit, to be able to perceive or see the Supreme Spirit, the unlimited Supreme Lord. Both of these are distinct qualifications. Both of these require distinct qualifications. It's not that anybody and everybody can just either see spirit or ultimately be able to see even the Supreme Spirit. That is the personality of Godhead. And after seeing the Supreme Lord, one has to surrender in transcendental loving service. This is what Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha means one who has seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And jnaninaha, one is full of knowledge about who is the Supreme Lord. and what is the relationship of everyone with the Supreme Lord, and how one can situate himself or herself in the proper position of one's relationship by surrendering to the Supreme Lord in transcendental loving service. This surrender is not for any material purpose, is not for any other purpose other than to render loving devotional service to the Lord. That's our actual constitutional position. So Narad Muni is one such personality who has seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is described in the earlier chapter how Narada had darshan of the Lord, then he realized the Lord, then he became situated as a totally surrendered devotee of the Lord, and after situating himself in that way, he is simply traveling and preaching to everyone to help them to get out of this material existence and reinstate themselves in their original position as pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. So Narad Muni has now come to actually help Yudhisthira understand the destination or the future of his uncles and aunt. So among all such pure devotees of the Lord, because Lord has many pure devotees like Narada, Devarshi Narada is the chief. Narado Munisattamaha, and therefore he has been described herein as the greatest of all philosopher devotees. Now, even among devotees, there are different kinds of devotees. So, who is a philosopher devotee? That Prabhupada explains, unless one has become a sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from a bona fide spiritual master, one cannot be a learned philosopher devotee. So to know the philosophy of Vedanta, Vedanta means the conclusion of the Vedas. And what is the conclusion of the Vedas? Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyam. Krishna is the goal of all Vedas, Vedic knowledge. So Narada is such a devotee who has become sufficiently learned philosopher by hearing the Vedanta philosophy from the Bhaktivedantas in his previous life, and he has become realized. He followed the instructions to realize that subject matter after hearing, and he had darshan of the Lord, and he became situated in his transcendental relationship as the pure devotee engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So therefore Narad Muni is actually the proper qualified person to guide somebody like Yudhisthira. So Prabhupada says one must be very faithful, learned and renounced. Otherwise one cannot be a pure devotee. It's not possible to be a pure devotee unless one is very faithful. Bhakti begins with faith, and that faith has to be developed. And then one has to become learned in the science of Krishna consciousness, science of bhakti. And one has to become renounced, completely free from all material attachments, 100% pure. That's called 100% pure. Without these qualifications, one cannot be a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. And such a pure devotee is qualified to help anybody cross this ocean of ignorance and reach the destination of the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. And it is also explained here by Prabhupada, Devarshi Narada used to visit the palace of the Pandavas because The Pandavas are pure devotees themselves, and Devarshi Narada used to visit them and was always ready to give them good counsel whenever needed. Of course, Yudhisthira as a pure devotee himself, he is capable of knowing from directly the Supreme Lord, because he is always engaged in the service of the Lord. But he's playing the part of a Kshatriya who always seeks the direction of a Brahmana or a pure devotee, saintly person. So therefore he is inquiring from Narada. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.